right now from today's TMJ4.
This is Live at 3.
We get a first look at the man accused in the suitcase murders. Former West Allis police officer Steven Zelich is being held on a $1 million bond in Walworth County, charged with 2 counts of hiding a corpse.
We do not know many details of this case just yet, but what we do know is disturbing.
Police say it involves sexual bondage, murder, and then hiding bodies for months, if not years. Mike Jacobs takes a closer look.
Steven Zelich, a former police officer in Mequon and West Allis, now sits behind bars in Walworth County. According to the criminal complaint, Zelich admitted killing 2 women, 37-year-old Laura Simonson and another woman identified as Jane Doe. He allegedly killed Jane Doe in late 2012 or early 2013. When her body was found earlier this month, her hands were bound with rope behind her back. Zelich told police he killed Laura Simonson in a hotel in Rochester, Minnesota last November.
Laura and Mr. Zelich were not strangers. They had a previous relationship through the internet. This was not something random where he picked her up off the street and kidnapped her and held her against her will.
When Simonson's body was found, there was a rope wrapped around her neck, a sexual ball gag strapped into her mouth, and she was naked. Zelich was allegedly involved in several bondage websites using the name Mr. Handcuffs. In one post, he said he was seeking a long-term slave for absolute ownership. Detectives spent most of the day Wednesday removing evidence bags from Zelich's apartment, including a refrigerator. His neighbors were shocked.
I'm just dumbfounded. I'm speechless about the whole thing.
Mike Jacobs, today's TMJ4.
More charges, including murder, are expected as this investigation continues.
Today's TMJ4 exclusive in this case. Reporter Katie Crowther spoke with an ex-girlfriend of the suspect. Jamie Bates tells us she met Zelich on the internet. He then drove from Milwaukee to her home in Michigan to spend a weekend together.
For him to be capable of doing something like that. And my kids, I had my kids around him.
Bates says she knew Zelich had a dark side. Again, police say Zelich also met the 2 women he's accused of killing online. We're going to have more on this story coming up on Live at 5. And for more information anytime, head to TMJ4.com.
A breaking news update now. The gas is back on for an Oak Creek neighborhood impacted by a gas leak. A construction crew hit a 2-inch gas line there this morning. This happened along Howell, just south of Putes Road, after crews were working on an underground telecommunications line. Firefighters evacuated the area, including a daycare, for a short time to shut things off. Milwaukee police have a full day of investigating today after a rash of shootings injured 8 people last night across the city.
As Jonah Kaplan explains, the gunfire takes a toll on many more people than just those who were hit.
Once again, gunfire struck someone too young. Police say an argument led to a gunman shooting a 13-year-old boy sitting on his porch near Buffum and North Avenue. A day later, the terror of last night's violence continues to haunt the Muehlbauer family who lives down the block.
It sounded like fireworks, but my mom said that it was a gun, so we all jumped down to the floor and we started crying. If I go down to the corner store and some people are shooting, I might get hurt or die.
If you keep on fighting, it won't make a difference to the water.
Yep, we got to come together, and that's what makes the difference.
The teenagers survived that shooting on North Buffum Street, but the buzz of gunfire reverberated across the north and west side of the city. Earlier that day, shooting, 1 person injured, 2600 West Atkinson. Also, another shooting at West Meineke, 1 person injured as well. Then a shootout, 24th and Locust, 5 people hurt. Altogether, that's 4 shootings and 8 injuries.
Police nor the mayor's office commented today, but they've spoken up before.
The vast majority of our firearms-related violence is opportunistic and related to sudden explosions of violence involving some dumb fight or other.
So far this year in Milwaukee, 30 children have been shot. This is insane.
The Muehlbauers insist they won't wait for help. Change starts at home.
I have to make sure that I'm not making selfish decisions. I have a community, and I have to make sure that everyone around me it's going to benefit for something positive.
In Milwaukee, Jonah Kaplan, today's TMJ4.
And police tell us they've identified a few suspects among those shootings, but so far have not made any arrests.
More questions than answers as to why a Milwaukee father is accused of shooting his own sons, killing one of them. Neighbors tell us the youngest son, who is 15, was mowing the lawn at their home on Teresa Lane. That's when his father reportedly shot him. That father is now in police custody. The surviving son is recovering at Children's Hospital.
Law enforcement will be out in force on the water this weekend. The Coast Guard and the DNR and local agencies all coordinating efforts to step up enforcement of drunken boating. Law enforcement will be on the water, randomly checking for intoxicated boaters. Drinking was involved in nearly 17% of boating deaths last year. Well, it is day 3 of the big gig. It is underway.
Brian Goddard holding things down at Summerfest for us one more day. Brian?
Got the windbreaker on again, I see.
Oh, no.
I could take it off. It's getting a little warm. The sun's starting to come out, so things are getting a little bit better. I'm calling it Fog Fest 2014 because it has been foggy every day. It is a lot busier here today than it was yesterday, even though the weather hasn't been quite as nice. It's the Sea of Red. You wear red, you get a free ticket. So a lot of folks wearing red. And I am joined with probably my #1 fan, Colton. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you? Where are you from?
I'm 15 and I'm from Kenosha.
And he wants to be a meteorologist, already looking into meteorology school. So give it a little weather report quick.
Blue skies, partly cloudy, and it hurts to finally look up in the sun.
Yeah, what is that?
Sun. It's very rare.
It's like hurting my eye.
It does. It's
Temperatures
blinding.
are in the mid-60s. It feels comfortable.
It does.
Would you rather have it hot and humid?
No, I'd rather have it like this.
This is nice.
It's
we
very
can see this. We can see the high rises downtown finally, so things are getting better. But the fog will probably come back in.
Probably.
Hey, keep in touch. Good luck. I'll help you get into Oklahoma. It's a fine school. You don't need my help though. And of course, it's not Summerfest if you don't have bands. And this is Eagle Trace. Where are you guys from?
We're from New Berlin.
And you guys played on Briggs last night. You just got done playing just now. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we just played on the K-Nation stage at 2. We just sprinted over here, actually.
As fast as we could.
So what was last night at the Briggs all about?
Last night was amazing. It was for Land the Big Gig. Journal Sentinel puts it on with K-Nation. We had 3,500 people in front of us. It was just as good as it gets. Summerfest is our favorite place to play every year.
And you took third place.
Third place.
You guys are
but it was an amazing experience.
Congratulations, guys. I appreciate you running all across the grounds to be with us on the news. Congrats. And we're going to finish off by going back to the station with these two young guys. We were dancing a second ago. Can you guys dance for me? Let's dance. Dance. Yeah. Woo-hoo. We're having fun at Summerfest. Back to you guys.
Brian Goddard keeping up with the little guys.
Too much Kool-Aid. Too much Kool-Aid.
He's the big kid out there at Summerfest, our Brian Goddard. Hey, the pesky fog keeps ruining the big fireworks show at Summerfest. It canceled itself for a second night in a row. Organizers now pushing that show in the next week.
It's hard, of course, to see fireworks through all that fog.
Yep.
It's also a safety concern. The show is now set for next Tuesday. That's July 1st at 9:30, weather permitting.
We've got some great music to listen to at Summerfest, though. You can hear through the fog, right? Brad Paisley is the big act tonight. His show featuring special guest Darius Rucker. You might remember him as Hootie. Starts at 7:30 at the Marcus Amphitheater. And we told you about the gruesome case of the suitcase murders.
How the suspect and victims met is raising a lot of eyebrows. We're going to sound off on that topic next.
Welcome back, everybody. It is sound off time now. Every day here on Live at 3, we tackle one of the day's big issues. We do it with the help of the man who owns every bit of Margaritaville ware known to man. Jeff Wagner. He's live at Summerfest.
And not bundled up today, Jeff.
Hey, I want to go on record. Yesterday I was getting static from Goddard because I had a sweatshirt and a jacket on. Today he's the one that's got the jacket on. I'm embracing Summerfest. It's great down here. Come on down, have fun.
Your point has been made.
Yes, let's go to sound off and our serious topic today. Steven Zelich was in court today facing charges in the suitcase murder. Zelich reportedly admitted to killing 2 women, then hiding their bodies in his apartment. One was there for months, the other more than a year. The suspect and at least one of the victims met on a bondage website. Sound off question today is, should internet sites promoting deviant behavior be shut down?
You know, and of course, one of the things that I think is so stunning and was so very amazing to me about the report that, for example, we had on last night was the fact that this man was apparently meeting multiple people through these various websites, and if these allegations are correct, it unfortunately led to something really horrific. Well, a lot of people are weighing in about the internet and how that plays a role into some of these things that happened.
Yeah, here's Jim on the north side of Milwaukee.
There are adult deviant sites, they say, that fulfill certain desires, and without them there could be an increase in actual assaults taking place.
I guess one of the big question here is, Jeff, what is the definition of deviant? I mean, everyone's going to have a different take on that.
Well, you know, and that's the problem that's out there. I mean, from a practical perspective, you know, we live in a country of freedoms. You've got the First Amendment. People have the right to communicate. They have the right to express themselves. And the truth is, there's this deep undercurrent that's out there, and there's people who are interested in stuff that the rest of us would find to be incredibly odd. That doesn't make it necessarily criminal. The problem, though, is I think people need to be really cautious when you wade in to some of these deep waters that are out there.
Yeah, it's kind of a user beware kind of a situation. We've got Lisa on Facebook who writes, who is to decide what is deviant? Per Steve's point. Funny how so many people were totally into 50 Shades, but now gasp. They are so shocked, mentioning that 50 Shades of Grey book that was so popular.
We've got Eloise in Milwaukee on the hotline. Go ahead.
The website should be shut down because we don't know who we're dealing with. Pedophiles, you don't know if you're dealing with men that just are murderers like we see on TV today. So yes, I believe it should be shut down.
And you know, the website or the web has made it easier, I think, for people who engage in this particular type of behavior. It will still go on with or without the internet, but it has made it easier to find people of the same thinking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, for example, one of the very, very odd aspects, and I'm using the word odd because I'd use other words as well about this story is, okay, for example, the woman that was interviewed on today's TMJ4 last night says, hey, I met this guy. He told me that he had kept his previous girlfriend in a cage 90% of the time. I thought it was a little creepy, but you know what? You know, we still decided to get together. And I'm thinking, what? I mean, seriously? And the fact is, for people who are interested in that kind of stuff, you can have all the protections you want. It's not going to make any difference.
All right, let's go to Facebook again. Shannon wrote in. She said, quote, the BDSM community preaches common sense and safety. As horrible as this story is, it should not be used as a reason to shut down all BDSM or so-called deviant sites.
Again, I just think you're back to if you're treading into this type of water, it's user beware.
Right.
All right, Jeff, thanks for joining us.
There's a whole other world out there.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us from the Summerfest grounds this afternoon, Jeff. We're going to talk about the weather for a little bit now.
Yeah, Jeff enjoying some sunshine out at Summerfest today. Michael Fish, you're getting another good
Michael
day.
Fish here in the studio, but Goddard has got things under
first.
Control at Summerfest. He's got the quick handoff there from Jeff Wagner.
You shed the
it's the gun show.
The gun show is going on today now. That's why everybody kind of ran away. How about Wagner today sporting the polo shirt? Nicely done after yesterday's winter fleece and turtleneck and sweatshirt. And they get frostbite on those arms. Thing is, they're much busier than they were this time yesterday. I don't know if it was because it was a Thursday or what, but it was kind of slow down here in the afternoon. It was a gorgeous day. Then the fog rolled in right around 6:30. You could just see it come in as this huge just blanket of fog settled in. And it's been foggy out here all day, but you notice we can now see the high rises where just an hour ago you could not see the high rises downtown Milwaukee, so things are getting better. Yeah, you're waving at me. Come here. Come here, young lady. Come here. What's your name?
Kamaria.
You having fun? What's this you got on a stick? This isn't the state fair. We don't have food on it. With some mustache on a stick. Let's see what you look like. Come on. Let's see what you look like. Oh, very nice. So what's your favorite thing about Summerfest?
There's a bouncy house here.
There's a what?
A bouncy house.
Oh, a bouncy house. They kicked me off of that earlier. I was too big. Just you have fun, all right? It's good to see you. So who's this? Are you shy or are you going to be on TV too? What's your name?
Demetrius.
What's your favorite thing about Summerfest?
Well, all the rides.
The rides? You have had any food out here yet? No, not yet.
I want a pretzel.
Oh, I want a pretzel too. When we're done here, we're going to go get a pretzel, all right? Let's go get a pretzel. All right, we got to go. We got to get a pretzel. Who's having fun at Summerfest today? Yeah! Fish, it's a great, so far so good fish. Yesterday at this time though, it was just like this, temperatures in the 60s, a lot of sunshine, people smiling, and then Milan and I bolted out of here because it just came in like a wall.
It really got her. It's just like clockwork. All of a sudden you see that fog, it rolls in, and then all of a sudden you disappear. Not that you left Summerfest,
Right.
You just get caught in the fog.
It's like, bye people. I don't need my tires slashed in the parking lot.
Well, I'm glad to see we can see you at least this time, Goddard. So, you know what? Just keep watching for that stratus deck over the lake because we might see it develop and move on in again, just like we've been seeing night after night. Now, here's a look outside. Not only could we see Goddard, but we can actually see the buildings this time, which is fantastic. That means we're making some progress. It's our Discovery World Tower Cam looking into downtown Milwaukee. How's the temperature doing? Well, at least at the airport, 72 degrees. If you're right by Lake Michigan, a little bit cooler. Look at that dew point. Dew point of 62. So all it's going to take are the temperatures to drop to around that dew point of 62. And guess what we get again? Some fog. So as the night goes on again, I have no, it's been the same so many times. I can't rule out more fog rolling its way back on in. If you're going down to Summerfest as the night goes on by 10:60, so maybe later on tonight, of course, the jeans, the long sleeve shirt, but it's not going to be that cold. All right, we got the weekend coming up, so that means we're looking around the state for the forecast. Now, the thing is, we're going to have a chance of storms tomorrow, but anything we see around the state, not going to be an all-day event. Lots of temperatures in the 80s. Same with Sunday, same thing. Front going to be pushing on through, and with it, a couple of thunderstorms, and that may be pushing out in the morning with the timing the way it looks right now. So Sunday may not all be rainy all day, maybe in the morning. So we'll talk about that in a bit. 69 so far in Milwaukee. We've just bumped the temperatures up from there. We have the lower 80s to the south and west. And look at this. Now if you head way inland, 85 in Whitewater. That feels like summer. Janesville's almost 90, 83 in Beaver Dam. So now we're getting more of a taste of summer. If you're right along the lake, there's Racine at 72 degrees. So of course cooler there like it's been over and over. Dew points, lower 60s by the lake, middle to upper 60s inland, so we're getting more humidity, but with that humidity in the cool lake, of course, and the light winds, the stable air, that means some fog is possible. Satellite and radar, weak little wave of energy pushing through the state. Now I want to show you our Viper HD radar. Nothing going on right now, but still, there's this little line right here that could kick off a shower or thunderstorm as we go through the evening, but as we lose the daytime heating, anything's going to slowly start to taper off. Now tomorrow, out to the west, Minnesota, the highest risk of more of the severe thunderstorms, and they do not need another drop of rain. So future forecasts going through the rest of our day, maybe a stray shower or a thunderstorm going into tonight, mainly before midnight. And tomorrow, another chance of a couple of showers and storms. And this front might be through here as we go through the morning hours. And that's the thing. It's not going to rain all weekend. So here we go for out the next 10 days. Again, Sunday not going to be an all-day rain. Monday, though, you guys, looks to be more rain around here. Not like we need anymore. I think we've seen our fair share so far. We cool it down after that.
All right, Fish. Thanks.
Coming up at 3:30, a heartbreaking story from Atlanta. A toddler left for dead in a hot car for 7 hours. A bad father's oversight, or was it murder?
And let's take a look at what's on TV tonight. 6:30, it's Wisconsin Tonight, followed by A Leap of Faith, the Meredith Vieira special. At 7, Crossbones coming your way at 9, and then it's more local news on Live at 10.
Welcome back. The big gig kicked off again at noon today.
And with thousands of festival goers making sure the Meyer Festival grounds stays tidy, that's a tough job.
Yeah, Scott Steele shows us how it's done every day before the gates even open.
Well, you know, when you have about 800,000 of your closest friends to a party over a week and a half, you're bound to have a bit of a mess. The cleanup every day can be a pretty big job.
We suck up all the garbage.
Just ask John, who's out here every AM at 5 unfurling his big motorized broom.
Yeah, I get to see the remains. I get to see the blown out flip-flops here and there, lost shoes, all kinds of good stuff.
Then there's the county program designed to save taxpayers some money and offer inmates an opportunity to get fresh air at the same time by having them out here grabbing up garbage in the off hours. And it's something we all do. Discussing porta potties may not be popular, but taking care of the collecting, an essential everyday activity.
Right, we had to actually pump out all the porta potties that's out here on the grounds, and all the sinks, and pretty much pick up the paper that's in front of the porta potties, replace everything for the next day.
It's a tough job, but you got to do it to get this place ready for the next day.
Right. It's a tough job. Ain't no one man gonna do it by himself, believe that.
So this may be empty now, but you can be sure the piles will be back with the next crowd of people, and the routine will start all over again tomorrow. On the Summerfest grounds, Scott Steele, today's TMJ4.
Summerfesters make a lot of garbage. You can expect the Summerfest grounds to be packed this weekend, but there's an easy way to avoid all that congestion. You can drop the car off at any of these 9 park and ride lots. The Freeway Flyer service will pick you up, take you right to the main Summerfest gate. They run every half hour from 11:30 in the morning to 5, and then every 15 minutes until 12:30 a.m.
It's a smart way to get down there
Yes.
this year. Summerfest goers expect warmer weather this weekend. The fog, though, it's expected to continue to be a pain in the neck.
This is a live look at the Summerfest grounds right now. We just need that fog to get out of there.
Slight haze out there.
By Tuesday, that's when the big fireworks show is rescheduled for. Brian Goddard's there. We'll see what he's up to coming up.
We want to see how much fun you are having at Summerfest this year. As always, send us your photos. I contribute at tmj4.com. We're back after this. New at 3, the world's tallest water slide supposed to be open right now.
But that water park says glitches are forcing some delays.
As Brenda Liz Gonzalez shows us, the ride is called Verrückt, which means insanity in German.
The name speaks for itself.
That one drop is awfully steep.
Up in the air, the 17-story water slide looks insanely steep. For nearly a month, only sandbags have taken the plunge. A few times, the 4-person rafts got stuck just after the first drop, but during the most recent test drops, success. Despite this being the ride's 3rd delay to open, most visitors here at Schlitterbahn plan to return for the ride.
We'd love to, yeah.
Because it looks awesome.
Except this guy.
I ain't riding that thing.